In this morning's Torah reading, Parshat Lech Lecha, where Avraham is called by God to go forth, Lech Lecha ma'artzecha mimoladcha mibeit avicha el ha'aretz asher arecha, from the land, from your birthplace, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. God doesn't specify the destination, only that the journey will be challenging and ultimately for Abraham's benefit. This journey becomes a process of building resilience, developing strength for the unknown, staying committed to his values, and trusting in God. This week has reminded us as a people of our own uncertainties. In the United States, the contentious election stirs feelings of division and mistrust. In Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu's firing of Defense Minister Yoav Gallant shocked many. And just days ago, a riot, a pogrom, targeted Israeli soccer fans in Amsterdam, resulting in numerous injuries. Here in Toronto, many of us look upon the anti-Israel demonstrations in our own city, and we are wondering not if, but when something similar may happen right here at home. These moments of disillusionment and violence, they challenge our sense of stability. Like Avraham, we face the question, how do we hold steady in a world that feels unsteady? How do we find resilience amid fear and frustration? Our sages teach us that Avraham faced 10 tests, Eser Nisyonot, each building his physical and spiritual strength. His journey was never a straight line. Almost immediately after setting out, Avraham faced famine, danger in Egypt, and later, a painful separation from his nephew Lot. Imagine Avraham stepping into the unknown, leaving behind everything familiar to follow a vision. Each step must have been daunting. We can imagine him wondering, is this really the journey that I was called to? But with each step, Avraham's resilience grew. He chose to keep going, drawing closer to God and to his purpose. Sforno, a 15th century Italian commentator, explains that each test that Avraham faced was lech lecha lehinatcha uletovatcha, to go for yourself, to go for your benefit and for your good. Each trial was not just a hurdle, but a building block for Avraham's growth. His journey reminds us that resilience is built through adapting to life's challenges, learning from them, and finding strengths we didn't know we had. As we approach Remembrance Day here in Canada, we honor the resilience and sacrifice of those who came before us. We remember the generations of men and women who left their homes, families, and safety to serve in wars far from our borders. Their journeys, like Avraham's, were filled with unknowns, with hardship, sacrifice, and often loss. Yet they stepped forward, believing that the future they were fighting for would be worth the sacrifice, the risks. One powerful example of this resilience is found in the Battle of Vimy Ridge. In April 1917, Canadian soldiers faced seemingly unsurmountable odds in their mission to capture a heavily fortified German position. For weeks, they trained through harsh conditions, preparing with meticulous care and unwavering determination. On the day of the assault, they moved forward as one, united in the belief that their mission and a vision of peace, against all odds, they captured the ridge, which became a turning point in the war and in Canada's history. Their resilience was not just about physical endurance, but about a commitment to each other and a belief that their sacrifice would create a better future. Their resilience was not passive endurance. It was a choice to act, to face fear and adversity for the sake of a world they may never fully see. In the face of unimaginable trials, they held on to a vision of justice and peace. They teach us that resilience means not only enduring, but actively building a future rooted in freedom, responsibility, and compassion. The Torah's command to Abraham, Lech Lecha, to go forth, is both external and internal. When God says, Lech, go forward, Rashi adds that it also implies Lecha, to yourself. Resilience, therefore, isn't only about facing external challenges. It's about deepening our own values and convictions. In times like these, when disappointment and fear threaten to overwhelm us, we too are called to lech, to go forth, lecha, within ourselves, to reflect on who we are and what we stand for. The Parsha reminds us that resilience is not just about individual strength, but also about building something lasting for others. God's promise to Abraham, I will make you a great nation, ve'esecha l'goy gadol, speaks to a resilience that transcends personal success. It is a commitment to future generations. The events of this week and those tied to more than a year of war between Israel and Iran's proxies, are a stark reminder that our ancestors, both ancient and modern, that their commitment to our future generations is not yet fulfilled. Our world today needs this resilience to stand by our values amid upheaval, to support one another, and to continue building towards a better future. As Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zichrono Livracha, once observed, resilience is the capacity to go on growing in the face of adversity. Like Avraham, we may not know exactly where this path will lead, but we do know that we are walking it together, and that we can draw strength from our shared faith, our heritage, and our hope. And we can draw strength from the fact that we as a people have walked this journey before, from Avraham to Egypt, from Egypt to Canaan, from Israel to Babylonia, from Babylonia to Rome, to Spain, to Europe, to North America, and to Israel. We are a people of resilience. May we find within ourselves and within our community the courage to face today's uncertainty with resilience, to stand for justice in difficult times, and to build a future rooted in the values we hold dear. Shabbat Shalom.